of all, I didn't know Chat GBT was free. I thought you had to pay for it or some shit. I was bored. I needed a break. I was doing a lot of intensive research on stuff. I'm like, I just need a break. And I was like, I was watching some, and they mentioned something about Chat GBT they were using. And I'm like, you know what? Let me see about it. I type it in. And it's actual. You just go on it and you just start asking questions or whatever. And the bitch literally just talks to you. Not like it's in a text message form. I'm sure they do have a voice form. But I'm sitting there taking a little break, and I'm just asking generic stuff. And I'm like, I'm not going to lie. This shit's pretty, if it didn't say it was automated, there's only a few things that would make me know pretty obviously that it was, artificially automated. But I gotta say, in terms of specificity, if you're getting lost, like, you could have a full-on get lost conversation with this thing. Because I did. I asked a question about me, about something specific to me, and then it was like, you do understand me. Nah, but like, I was actually sitting there asking like random questions about the stock market and, something about personality stuff and all this stuff. And I'm sitting there and I realized it's been 40 minutes and I'm sitting there texting. I'm typing on my computer back and forth with this thing. And I'm like, and I had to stop. I forgot for like 10 minutes. I was like, oh, this thing's not real. But it feels like I'm talking to like tech support or some shit, It's like, fuck paying a therapist. You got any problem, talk to Chat GBT. It will lie and make yourself feel better, It's like, subscribers ain't coming in. Be like, well, ambition is a beautiful thing. And you're like, you know what? You're on to something. I like you. You're a nice gal. But now, some notes I took from it was, it's kind of scary. When you start, doing the stock market thing, you get a lot, you learn a lot about these AI companies and how kind of scary it is, how advanced they are. When you look deep at, like, you hear the word artificial intelligence. You kind of are aware of it, but you don't really understand, like, everything involved with it. It's stuff like NVIDIA, Palantir, and all this stuff. Like, and you start looking, like, the shit they're having some shit do. Like, and I immediately, when I was just kind of feeling this Chat GBT out, I'm really seeing the extent it will go to. If you've ever seen the movie Her, I've actually talked about it in this show before. Like, I can actually see now how someone could actually get emotionally attached to it if they are completely unhinged human beings. But I can see how if you wanted to escape, pretend you had a partner, or pretend you had a friend and all that stuff, like, you can go to ChatGPT and these fake AI robots and stuff and feel like you're having a full life with them. Like, you could fake a friendship with these things if you were completely just disattached from reality. It is very, very possible. And I think even rational people would be surprised. Like, you could get caught up in a second, But I was looking through and, looking into video and all this stuff. Like, it is kind of scary how quick this AI stuff, this ChatGPT, how much it is changing. Our lack of need to be better at communicating as people. And when it comes to jobs and like, I think with Amazon, they're already starting some warehouse where automated robots are performing the actual task of like what human beings would do. And look, machinery and, it's stuff like that. It's always going to evolve over time. Like, people used to have to do a lot more than they do now. There's a lot of things that are automated, but we still need people for the middleman type of stuff to get work done. But it might legitimately get to a point where, like, no one at these Amazons, these FedExes, these UPSs, they might not legitimately need the lowest of the low in terms of people doing the distribution, people working at the warehouses. And that's kind of scary. Might not even need delivery drivers. That's scary within itself. And, it's funny. I was in the rationalization of, like, people worry that it's about, no, people worry it's going to take jobs away. It's like, no, it's going to make it to where you don't have to do the jobs that suck. It's like, no, that's not what's going to happen. Is these rich people, these quote unquote investors, like, no, it's going to be such a great change. Yeah, no, it's going to make it where you don't have to do the dirty work, the hard work, It can have it where we can have people focus on the more important stuff. And it's like, but if you take those jobs away, there's just going to be less jobs. You're not going to create more jobs to pay people more. That's not what's going to happen. It's just funny. They're going to tell you, it's like, don't be sold. Don't let these politicians, don't let these AI companies tell you that this is actually going to be so you can have a better financial or work opportunity. Because let me tell you, it's not like all those people that are working at those, they're going to promote them to a different position that's more meaningful, that's more fulfilling, that pays more, that's less labor, to reward them for doing the other work. They're like, hey, we don't need you. That's what they're going to tell you. That's exactly what they're going to tell you. So, I found that pretty... But yeah, I think it is... I'm not necessarily for or against AI, personally. But that chat GBT thing, it really did open my eyes. And that movie, Her, I think I would have to look back, but I couldn't remember. I felt like what I said at the time was like, I could see how that could happen for someone who's down bad on their life and stuff like that. Or people that are, just need any form of connection, and they would rather deal with that and pay for whatever than to deal with real life repercussions of, having a partner, dating, finding someone and stuff like that. That could be scary, it could be daunting, it could be just a lot of work. And you just get a robot or a person that's not really a person, that's going to be probably more appealing to even people that would say right now they would never do something like that. But at the same time, these are the same guys that get sex dolls, One thing that will sell to the end of time is, pocket pussies. I think they are making a Blue Mountain State revival. That's where you get it from, by the way. I would never use such a thing. Too much cleaning. I like the rationale. I was like, well, it would just be too much maintenance. Like, wait, that's why you wouldn't? That's the only thing stopping you? Like, I mean, it's probably a good reason. I don't like. Do you put that thing in the washer machine? Like, yeah, just put it next to the bowl that I just ate fettuccine out of. It'll be fine. How do you clean that thing? You bleach it. You put some goo goo gone, because the goo goo will probably not be gone. Or the kaboom. Well, kaboom is why it's nasty in the first place. But you know what? I'll keep it moving. Okay, so another thing, right? I'll be the first to admit, I watched a good portion of Antonio Brown on Theo Vaughn's podcast. I did not watch a single minute of Antonio Brown, because honestly, I'm kind of scared to watch it. Not because I think he's gonna like blow up or destroy it. Like honestly, on that big of a stage, all the CT jokes are funny. It's all cool and funny. Like what he did to get out of the league, all the extraness, his post-retirement, doing these like funny little Twitter stuff and all that stuff. Like he'll be fine and all that stuff. But I think it's kind of like, I think he's starting to get played out a little bit. And I don't think anyone's doing it on purpose to expose him. But I think when you're putting him on these bigger and bigger platforms and stuff like that, where he's just talking unedited, unfiltered and stuff, from the stuff I've seen, like in most of the show I watch with Theo, it really kind of feels like, this ain't really, I don't really find this entertaining personally, in terms of it doesn't feel like he's got much more to say than what he has to say. Like, I don't really feel like he has new spins on anything or any. It kind of feels like we're watching someone in real time. He's kind of Kanyeing it. And really, no, I'm not saying he's Kanye in terms of saying the weirdest of weird shit. But, it really is like Cat Williams said. It's like, the problem I have is like people are getting mad at stuff Kanye says. The issue I have is why do we keep taking someone serious who obviously has a lot of issues, a lot of mental health issues? Why are we putting them on full blast and to tear them down and all this stuff? Like, we should not be and I'm not against like anyone should say what they want to say, but it does get uncomfortable where it feels like he's being used more to be the butt of the joke now. And he's not a victim by any means, but it's really just kind of like the optics of everything. It's like, it's really uncomfortable to watch because it's not even like the funny entertainment. It's like, it's got really like, it really sounds like he just is not there, if that makes sense. It honestly feels like he's coping. It seems like he's coping more with the fact that he's not a football player anymore. He kind of self-destructive, and the way to rationalize is be over the top to be entertaining. And I don't know how, you can't get mad at anything crazy he says because honestly, I think he has a lot of probably issues. The same with people say about Kanye. Dude has obviously a lot of issues that I don't understand, like why everyone's obsessed with taking him serious all the time. Like, who cares if he says some shit about, the Holocaust and stuff like why are you taking him serious? Like, I would not give anything he says about that stuff the time of day. Like, if you can't take someone serious, why do you take him serious? And with Antonio Brown at this point, it really is kind of like this. I'm not mad at anything he says or anything like that, but I just don't. It feels more like I think the notes I wrote down. It's uncomfortable to watch. It honestly feels like he's being taken advantage of, not by the shows or anything like that. But the fact that people want to hear what he has to say, but he's being forced to be out there, probably by promotional teams and stuff like that, to push something. And I feel like doing this, it's actually going to make taking him less serious. And that's the only thing I kind of worry about.